Judo Techniques, Part 2 Is Judo a martial art? By Bruno Carmeni, Bruno Carmeni's Judo blog. WordPress.com. There is a big discussion going on whether Judo is a sport or not. It isn't possible to give a quick answer, as not even on an international level this dilemma has been clearly defined. Therefore it is wise to take time and to think it over. Personally, I disagree with those that say that Judo is a martial art and is therefore different compared to any other sport. Without taking into consideration practical methods and spiritual aspects, both imply contrasts and clashes based on specific rules. At the same time, the wide general use of the term martial by many Western authors can be intriguing. One could easily think, erroneously, that the martial prototype warrior was only the creator of the art itself or was the only one to practice it. Martial equals the etymology of the word is tied to Mars, the Roman war god. Therefore we could be misled and qualify the fighting specializations as war arts and refer to them exclusively when talking about the battlefield and big masses of people clashing into each other's, without considering singular challenges. Sport equals, by definition, it is an amusement, a pretext to move without other insights. It can be practiced with technical ability and competition spirit and therefore tease the ardor and increase the interest. The diverging point between martial art and sport concerns the way it is expressed. In the first, the technique is used in a real fighting context and follows a totalitarian ideal, while the second has generally been exalted for its democratic ideals. The notion of sport appears when the physical activity includes the idea of competition. Herbert has given following definition of sport: sport is every exercise or physical activity that has as principle the realization of a form and where the performance is essentially based on the idea of fight against a defined element, a distance, a duration, an obstacle, a material difficulty, a danger, an animal, an opponent, and by extension oneself. I think that many people get interested in Judo because of a certain enthusiasm, and many are mainly attracted by its mystical oriental qualities. The untouchable, the mystery and the invisible are attracting forces and become stimulating elements in order to start practicing this discipline. The Japanese confirm that what is so appealing to the Westerners is naturally part of their national personality, of their way of thinking, etiquette, habits and traditions. All those apparently mystical aspects of Judo are simply the daily basics of these Eastern people. Even though the Japanese tradition gives a lot of credit to the idea of form and beauty in all its aspects, the conventionalism, which is over-practiced, can often reach an extreme coldness. Of course, the different degrees and formality ways have a spiritual background, but their expressions are closer to inhumane automatisms. When Japanese conventions, as for Judo, take place at international or national competitions, the judges make some efforts in order to use the proper Japanese words such as hajime, start, mate, stop, ippon, point, and so on. Almost everybody uses these Japanese expressions combined with the typical Japanese way of saluting with a bow. Nevertheless, at the same time, right after the bow they might shake hands, which is instead typical in their own nation. This mixed behavior is natural and appropriate. Every nation has different greeting ways and different ways of doing things. What is important is the word appropriate. What is done is right for the occasion and the person. It is an expression of sincerity, and this is what matters. Judo's features are always the same. It does not matter if it is practiced in Japan or in other parts of the world, but in the years and due to the Westerners' way to express things has inevitably been modified. Find out mode at www.brunocarmenisjudoblog. WordPress.com